Hello, everybody. Welcome to another audio podcast of the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today, we do have a lot of topic of yesterday because I didn't do it because of a personal reason, but I'm here to recap what I missed this week. So, for those people who don't know why I'm doing an audio, because I had a computer problem, so I'm using my phone to do the audio for this podcast. Now, make sure also to listen to the other audio that I released a couple weeks ago on my podcast on my YouTube channel to listen to it if you missed it. So, like I said, don't forget to listen to this podcast on my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, notify, and leave your comment on my video. And let's get more subscription on my podcast so that people can follow. You can send this to a friend or your parents or a close member of your family. And make sure to listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Here we go. Let's talk about our first topic. So, the first topic we have to talk about, it is the Super Bowl halftime show. It has been announced that Bad Bunny will host his first halftime Super Bowl in his career. So, for those who don't know what's going on, because there's been a lot of mixed reaction when it comes to Bad Bunny. Yes, Bad Bunny is a global superstar in the international world. He has like the top streamer in artists in this era. Over 96.6 billion streaming on his on Spotify, whatever you can listen to his music. And he's from Puerto Rico. We gotta admit that Puerto Rico, it is a American USA territory. So let's not forget about that. But I think there's also the issue that I see why it's a good thing and a bad thing. So let's talk about the good thing. The good thing is the first time we see an international superstar, someone like Bad Bunny, to host the halftime show in the Super Bowl. But as on the other hand, is that also that he is anti-Trump. He's against all the immigration that's happening in the United States with ISIS, and that he's afraid that ISIS will come to his concert or the halftime Super Bowl. I might add that to arrest all the immigrants that will be on the attended of the Super Bowl. And also, this is why also that he did not want to do a concert in the United States because of ISIS and what the anti-Trump trying to do. That he is anti-Trump, that he hates Donald Trump. He doesn't like what Trump is doing, especially for the Latino community, because don't forget that Bad Bunny's fans are also Latino in the United States, and they are a lot of Latino in the United States and America. So that is why, and I think people are angry also because he doesn't speak English. All his song is in Spanish, and I gotta admit that someone who do not listen to his song, I don't know if you ask me name top 5 song of Bad Bunny, I will not even know. But I knew Bad Bunny from the song with Carter B. I like it. That's what I first heard of Bad Bunny. The other time when I saw Bad Bunny, he was doing WWE WrestleMania 36. Remember when the year of uh, WrestleMania, the COVID year, when there was some fan in Tampa. So he performed at WrestleMania. Also, he did perform in Puerto Rico again in the WWE against Damian Priest. If you're not a wrestling fan, Google him, Damian Priest. And also, he participated in the Royal Rumble. So, what am I thought about this? My thought on this situation with the Bad Bunny hosting the halftime Super Bowl, I think I'm indifferent. And the reason why I said I was indifferent is because number one, I think it's a good thing that Jay Z and Rock Nation are doing the best they could to choose this current artist, because I think what Rock Nation tried to do and the NFL is try to the yesteryear, like the Rolling Stone, the even Beyonce, the rock and roll like Metallica, are pretty much gone. They want to do something for this current generation. I think that is the reason why he's doing this, and also that Bad Bunny has a lot of fan around the world, especially in the Latino community. So that personally, that is why. One thing I hate about, I think that fans, fans can be fickle. We gotta admit that the viewership, not the viewership, but the fan in America are most like want to hear people that they know. The casual, especially the casual fan. Like for instance, imagine let's say Taylor Swift hosted uh the halftime Super Bowl. Do you, do you think the rating will go up? Absolutely, the halftime show, the rating gonna go up if it was Taylor Swift. Because it's Bad Bunny, I don't know how the ratings gonna do. And the issue that he doesn't speak English, like I said a couple of minutes ago, he speaks Spanish. Another reason also that his thing is demonic, and also he's gay, which is not true. And I don't have the tweet with me because it's audio, so I cannot show everything on my phone. I wish I used my computer, but that's another story for another day. That he is heterosexual, and you know it is what it is for for the his sexuality. But I think he will perform good, and I think he will probably bring some guests, in my opinion. And I think also that the majority of fans, especially the casual fans, don't know who Bad Bunny is. And that's also the reason why some of the people are furious. Not just the left. People think about the right wing, the right wing in the United States, or the lefty left. Where somehow, and also it comes from the casual fan that wait a minute, we got a lot of artists who never perform like I said, Taylor Swift. Or maybe Chris Brown, because a lot of people wanted to see Chris Brown host the halftime Super Bowl, which he will do it one day. I don't think that the thing is closed. I think it's open. Maybe one day he will host the Super Bowl, or like people like Lil Wayne. He should last year he should have hosted the Super Bowl in New Orleans, which I was totally with. That Lil Wayne should have hosted New Orleans. Instead, they chose Kendrick Lamar, and I think they're picking the hottest thing, which I understand that, but at the same time, like it's New Orleans, it's Lil Wayne's hometown. I mean, if Kendrick was in L.A., that's a one thing. But because it was New Orleans, that's why you have to host a halftime the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So I hope Bad Bunny does a phenomenal job. I don't know which special guest he will bring, but I think if he will probably break the ratings. I don't know about that, but we wish nothing but the best for him. Moving on from the Super Bowl halftime, let's talk about the NFL Thursday night football. The We had the 49ers versus the Rams in a phenomenal game. 49ers win 26-23 against the Rams. As the result of this 49er win, Mac Jones from the 49er had 33 completion, 49 attempt through 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford from the Rams, 30 completion, 47 attempt through 389 yards and 3 touchdowns. On the rushing side, Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 57 yards and 0 touchdown. Karen Williams, 40 carries, 65 yards, no touchdown. But on the receiving side, Kendrick Bourne, 10 reception, had 142 yards and 0 touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 8 reception, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Jack Tongues, 7 reception, 41 yards and 1 touchdown. On the Rams side, Devontae Adams got 5 reception, 88 yards. Puka Nakua, 10 reception, 85 yards, got 1 touchdown. Karen Williams, 8 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So what am I thought about this game? I thought this game was pretty interesting in the fourth quarter. I think same thing that we saw. I don't remember what game we saw. I think it was, the Seattle versus Arizona, which in all those 3 quarters, the 49ers Seattle led, and little by little, the Arizona Cardinals was coming back, and they lost. Same thing with the Rams and the 49ers against the Rams. The Rams were down. Then in the fourth, something happened in the fourth quarter. They came back, and they lost. But let's ask you this question: what does it do for Brock Purdy, injured, and Mac Jones replacing him? Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is still the guy on the 49ers. But at the same time, Mac Jones is playing pretty good. I mean, he's playing very good. And I think it's going to have a conflict between who should be the number one QB, Brock Purdy or Mac Jones. I still say it's Brock Purdy, but Mac Jones, if you remember Mac Jones, he did that in New England Patriots. Remember when Cam Newton wasn't playing well, Mac Jones was replacing him on the QB1, and all of a sudden I believe he brought the Patriots to the playoff, and I remember that correctly. So I think there will be this huge debate if Mac Jones should be the number one QB. No, he's a backup. He's gonna be a backup. But I'm not gonna be surprised if other teams in the free agent next year to pick him up, because I do see I don't know which team, but I think somewhere in the NFC who will bring Mac Jones. This is my personal opinion. Mac Jones. But But great job for the Mac Jones 49ers to win. They're on the top of the NFC West. So I hope that Brock Purdy recovered and get back his spot in the QB1. And the 49ers probably, maybe they'll be making the playoff. I don't know. But let's see what we for the 49ers. Moving on this one, still in the NFL, we talking about the Cleveland Brown, which the Brown bench Joe Flacco and replaced them by Dylan Gabriel, who was drafted before Shador. He's gonna start the QB1 against the Minnesota Vikings in London. So for the people in the United States, you guys are gonna wake up early in the morning. So this is gonna be very interesting. But that's not the topic. The topic is that Dylan Gabriel is starting over Shador, which is still going to be QB3. Joe Flacco's QB2. And there's been a lot of debate. Should Shador be QB2? And that not only that, but also start in the game against the Viking. And also that there's been a conflict between Dylan Gabriel and Shador in the locker room. Something like that. It's just a rumor, but what is my opinion about that? And do you think he should be QB2? I think he should be QB2. And I think I know why they did that. Because he's still inexperienced. And I think that he's not ready. Which is kind of ridiculous. Because why are you drafting Shador then? If you did not want him, don't draft him. And there's been stories about Shador during the draft that the Baltimore wanted to pick him, or the not Cleveland, but the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to pick him, and he refused to play against in that roster to be drafted by them. But that was a thing. But what do I see Shador future? I can see two things with Shador. Number one, you stay, and once Dylan Gabriel doesn't play well, and I know Joe Flacco is QB2. Shador QB3. I think you should have started Shador. Let's just test him. If he doesn't play good, I'll put back Dylan Gabriel. That's what Kevin Stefanski should have done. That's number one option. Number two, Shador should ask a trade. A trade that a team that need him, that need a QB. For instance, I'll give you an example. The Jet need a QB. I'm not saying the Saints, but they have Tyler Shook. Who else doesn't have a QB? What else? Who else? Damn. I don't know. Other than the Cincinnati Bengals, because the Bengals, and I thought about the Bengals because they're playing trash. And I think the Bengals need someone like that, in my opinion. So it's either you let them play, test them, because in the preseason it was pretty good. I forgot to add that. Preseason was pretty good. Oh, you trade him. That's the only two options I can see for Shador. But I think Shador will play this season, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna be surprised if next example week 7, week 8 they're gonna play Shador. So I'm not gonna be very surprised about that. Moving on from another topic, let's talk about the NBA preseason result. So let's talk about the first preseason, the 76ers versus the New York Knicks. Great win for the Knicks, 99-84. The top scorer for the 76er, VJ Edgecombe, the rookie, had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Tyrese Maxey had a 14.4 rebound and 4 assists, had 1 steal and 1 block on this game. The Knicks top scorer, Karl Anthony Towns, 11.5 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. Mikal Bridges, 10-point, 1 rebound, 2 steal. Deuce McBride, 12.5 rebound and 2 assists. Another game we saw is the Melbourne United versus the New Orleans Pelicans. They were in Australia, so Pelicans win 107-97. And the Melbourne top scorer, Doyle, 25.3 rebound and 4 assists, 1 steal. Delaney, 13.9 rebounds, 7 blocks. 1 block. Edward, 12.7 rebounds and 5 assists. Over the Pelicans right now, Trey Murphy III, 18-point rebound, 3 steal. Zion Williamson, who, by the way, he looked very good after his weight loss, 15.2 rebound and 5 assists. Jordan Poole made his preseason debut with the Pelicans, 11.4 rebound and 4 assists. So I didn't cover the Suns and the Lakers, but the Suns won the game against the Lakers. I think it's like 101-81. So that was not a game I needed to watch because I know it's a preseason and I do not watch preseason. So that's the result for the NBA of I believe it was Thursday. Now let's talk about the WNBA because this right there was pretty shocking and not surprised at all. Napheesa Colliers called out the commissioner, and basically, if you don't know what happened, during the exit interview, because the Minnesota Lynx got eliminated in the playoff, against, I believe it was against the Mercury. Yes, against the Phoenix Mercury. And, Napheesa was injured. Coach Reeve got suspended for 1 game. For the I believe it was game 3 or game 4, something like that. But, and all hell break loose. And after that, the elimination, Napheesa Colliers during the exile press conference, she called out the commissioner, Kathy Emmenberg, who I don't want to read all the I don't want to read all the speech that Napheesa Colliers said, but basically she said that they she's the worst leader, commissioner of all time, and blah blah blah. After Napheesa did the speech, a lot of the WNBA players supported her. For instance, Aja Wilson supported Napheesa Colliers' speech, and Caitlin Clark especially Kimberly Clark, because her name was brought up in the press conference, and they all supported her. What am I thought about that? I think this is really, and I mean really, 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 really going bad for the WNBA. And I did my research, by the way, when I talk about the revenue of the WNBA. So this is according to Forbes, and I did just those keywords. So according to Forbes, the WNBA had like a $70 million in 2025, but it increased by like $200 million in a season. So think about that. Think about that, people. While they were playing, every year they were losing the money. They're they're losing their money every every season, and that is a shocking, and I was surprised. So also I did, so the last year they did what they call the Unrival, which, by the way, if you haven't watched the Unrival last season, you missed it. I thought it was fantastic what they did. Napheesa Colliers and Brianna Stewart, that was their baby, that's their brainchild, and I thought I felt a blast. I loved it. So look at this. What I did in my research, Unrival they had like $27 million in the first season. Think about that compared to the WNBA. Something is ain't right. And if the border and the player negotiation do not agree of what's going on in the WNBA, I'm afraid that we will have a lockout. I think the WNBA will have a lockout. And I seen this, not like I said, I guarantee, but it's a prophecy. If they do not find a way to negotiate with players and the commissioner with the situation in the WNBA, I tell you right now that the WNBA player will make a lockout. They will have a lockout. I guarantee you that part. If they do not resolve, because how come I read that Caitlin Clark and Paige and Andrew Wiggs, they're making thousand a dollar in their rookie year. That's pretty much disgraceful. On the other hand, uh, Kathy Allenberg, the commissioner of the WNBA, they respond, and I don't have the paper in me. If you have read it, you read it. If you haven't, go check on it, because let me tell you what, this is very bad look for the commission. She looked bad on this one. And on first take, I was watching this, and Stephen Smith said something, and I thought I agree with him. Miss Caddy, you should resign for your duty of the commissioner of the WNBA, because this is the statement that you said is pretty much embarrassing. Everything from the beginning to the end, it was embarrassing. Lord have mercy. Because everyone, David Stern, David Stern, God rest his beautiful soul. If 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 some if a player did that, I think David Stern will pretty much lose a broad gasket, and then he's gonna find a way to negotiate. He's gonna find a way to negotiate. So so I think that I'm not gonna be surprised. There will be a lockout. I hope not. I wish they find a way to negotiate the situation with the revenue and stuff. But but for the commissioner, I will say this: you should resign of your duty. That's all I gotta say about that. Moving on from the WNBA, normally for this one, I always been on live on my Instagram, or I did live on my YouTube a couple weeks ago, and I felt it that I didn't like it. So for that, we're gonna do the prediction on this podcast. So we're gonna make like a quick, maybe not quick, maybe like a 2-3 minute park prediction for the NFL. So let's start the prediction. Sunday afternoon. Well, let's say Sunday morning for this one. The the Minnesota Vikings versus the Cleveland Browns. I got the Vikings winning over the Browns because I don't know what Dylan Gabriel is gonna bring to the table. But and also I don't know because preseason is not the same thing the regular season. So this is gonna be a huge challenge for Dylan Gabriel for the QB for the Cleveland Browns. So I got the Minnesota Vikings winning it. Houston versus Baltimore. I think, in my opinion, Baltimore need to win this. He need to win this against the Houston Texans because Houston are not that good. I think they're pretty disappointed, but I think Baltimore will handle it very perfectly. Miami versus Carolina Panthers. I got the Carolina winning it, so over the Miami. So don't be surprised about that. Las Vegas versus the Indiana Colts. I'm probably gonna pick the Colts over the Las Vegas Raiders, in my opinion. So I know the Colts loss was pretty huge, but they bouncing back. As far for the Raiders, I don't know. So I could be wrong. So I'll pick the Colts to win this. Next game, the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart is starting again. This time in out playing against my New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. I got my New Orleans Saints winning it because the news that Jason Hill is back. So in my opinion, I got the my New Orleans Saints winning it. Next game, Dallas for the New York Jets. I'm gonna make a shock. I think the Jets will shock the world. Will shock the world that they're gonna beat the Cowboys. So I got the Jets winning it. Broncos for the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning it. Tennessee versus Arizona. My head said Arizona, but my heart said Tennessee. So I'll pick Tennessee. The Titans winning it. Tampa Bay versus the Seattle. I got Tampa Bay winning it against Seattle. Detroit versus Cincinnati, easy. Detroit gonna win this. Washington versus the Chargers. Um, I'm gonna pick a shock. I'll pick the Chargers winning it over the Commanders to winning it. Sunday night, Patriots versus the Bills, easy Bills, and finally Chiefs versus the Jags. I'm gonna pick a surprise. I think the Jaguar are gonna win this over the Chiefs. That's my opinion. So those are the NFL prediction for Sunday and Monday. Now the wild card thing. Let's talk about the MLB baseball. So if you missed the wild card, so LA Dodgers beat Cincinnati Bengals, Reds 8-9. Dodgers win this. They sweep the Reds. The Tiger versus the Guardian. Tiger wins it against the Guardian 6-3. The Padres versus the Cubs. Cubs win this against the Padres 3-1. The Yankees versus the Red Sox. Yankees beat them 4-0 against the Red Sox. So those are the wild card. Now I'll give my prediction for the series of the American the ALDS. So you got the Yankees versus my Blue Jays. I rock with my Blue Jays all day, all night. I think they're gonna win the series against the Yankees, in my opinion. So let's go Blue Jays, people. Now Cubs versus the Brewers. I got Brewers winning it against the Cubs, or at least the Cubs could get them one. They could have get them one, but the Brewers winning it. Dodgers versus Philly, easy. I picked the Dodgers winning it. And finally, the Tigers versus the Mariners. I got the Mariners. Actually, sorry, I got a Tiger winning this series against the Mariners. So that's all for today podcast. Make sure to listen to this podcast, like I said, on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. And like I said, let's get the people to subscribe on my podcast. Like, subscribe, notify, leave your comment on my video, and leave the comment on the community. Don't forget to listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me at Pascal_Mayala_15 on my Instagram. Same thing with Threads, Pascal_Mayala_15. Facebook, Pascal Mayala. X formerly Twitter at Belly versus PMM. Let me repeat that for the last time. You at Belly versus PMM. That being said, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.